I have been avoiding making this video for such a long time, but I feel like the world is changing and so am I. My life is changing and I feel like this is the time that I finally do it. My name is Lori and this is my first YouTube video. If you have ever come across maybe myself or any of my content, it might be under the name Now It's Clean that I have on other social media channels where I have shared cleaning tips and tricks, hacks, how to do your laundry, basically different routines in order for you to maintain your home. And I'm going to tell you something. I got into social media a few years ago, and this has become my full-time job, my business. And it has been so easy to just stay in that lane, in that niche. But I realized like my life is evolving and I feel like I have so many more things that I can share with you. So that is exactly why I have finally decided to sit down and start doing this, creating content for YouTube, because we need to have more candid conversations. I need to be a little bit more vulnerable with you. And I really hope that you are going to be able to maybe get some of the little tips and tricks about life, living a good life, having fun, adventure, getting your ish together. And so I want to kind of get into things. If you ever see me look down, it's because I have my computer here and I'm trying to be respectful of your time because I know it is my first YouTube video. And I just kind of want to make sure that I get across the points and I stay on track because I get to be chatty. When I create short form content, it's like I write it out in like 15, 20, even 30 seconds. But here I feel like you're going to get to like really get to know me. Anyways, so a lot of people have always asked me like, how did you even get started? And I want to say before that, I want to bring you into like where I was in life. So just over 5 years ago, let's just say, I got into an accident. Ironically, I was in Jamaica. I was just in Jamaica the other day. And I got into an accident in Negril where I basically broke my ankle. And it was a bad break. Bad break, meaning I couldn't walk at that time. And I came home and had emergency surgery. They put plates and screws in my leg, my right leg. So I couldn't walk. I had to basically be in a cast. And I couldn't drive and I couldn't work. And all I had was basically my bed. And I had this job where I was teaching kids how to speak English in China, in Japan, and Korea. So that year, I made about $20,000. I want to do a little aside here. Cash flow is so important in our lives. And I feel like people do not talk about things. Like they say, like, be all in with all the things that you're doing, like believe in your dream. But you got to make sure that you sort out your cash flow because honestly, if I didn't have this like secondary source of income, I would be, it would have been so stressful. But fortunately, making $20,000 for the year, while it wasn't a lot, it did allow me to pay for my mortgage. It paid for my maintenance fees. It paid for me to get groceries. It paid for me to have cell phone and internet, which is few, but I definitely wasn't a place that I was thriving. And like, while I had to go through like this whole thing of being independent and then going to being dependent on like basically a scooter to get around that I couldn't even walk to go to the bathroom, it definitely was an eye-opening time in my life because people were like, are you going to be able to walk again? And I was like, I'm assuming so. And then they're like, are you going to walk with a limp? And I was like, I never thought about that. But it was a time that I really believe, looking back, that God redirected me. That whatever I was doing before, the business and the work that I was doing was not me doing what I was like good at. So over that 9 months, as I was like in bed healing, as I took my first steps and I was going to physiotherapy multiple times per week to gain strength and learning how to walk again. And I was like walking with a cane for at least 6 months. It definitely was a time that I was like, wow, this is crazy. And it led me to how I became a content creator because just a few short weeks of me being able to fully walk on my own without a cane, the world basically shuts down because of, And I remember being like, I am in no position to get sick. I am in no position to get sick because I have just spent 9 months healing from my ankle. And I basically just became obsessed with cleaning. I had always grown up knowing how to clean. It's something that my mom and dad had like really instilled from a young age. And I just wanted to understand like, what are the things I could do? Disinfect and like sanitization. And I just started creating content on that little clock app. And it was interesting. My city was on a serious lockdown. So the only thing you could do is go to the grocery store, you could go to the drugstore, but you couldn't do much else. So I kind of took like solace in creating content and I was like putting it out there. It was by no means perfect, but I just loved like that community that I was meeting other content creators who were posting the same thing in my niche. And I was making friends with people in the Netherlands or in the UK or in Canada and the US. And nobody knew who I was because I posted anonymously. So you could just see like my hand, my condo. You could see the products I was using. You could hear my voice, but you didn't know who I was. And I wanted to stay that way because, well, I didn't want to necessarily be associated with cleaning. When I first started creating content, it wasn't that I had any expectation. It just, I was enjoying the process. And then I remember being on live and celebrating 100,000 followers. And I was like, what? 100,000 followers? I even had a cake and everything like that. And I was like, this is so cool. And I remember telling my friend, she was also doing the online teaching kids how to speak English. And I was like, I'm going to make 1 million followers. I'm going to get to that point where I have 1 million followers. And I said, I'm going to do that by my birthday. And I remember probably like 6 weeks later, I posted this video.
Need a new obsession? Welcome to the oh so satisfying world of Clean Talk. Fall down that rabbit hole to tips, tricks, and hacks that make Clean Talk such a mesmerizing place.
And this video went mega viral. It had 22 million views. And not that it just had the 22 million views. I posted on a Thursday, and I had at that time about 150,000 followers. And from Thursday to Sunday, my account just kept on increasing followers that by Sunday at like, 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, because I was awake taking screenshots, my account hit over 1 million followers. Imagine gaining like almost 1 million new followers in less than a week. And it is literally the lesson that anything can change. Your life can drastically change. And that is something that social media, we've seen by so many different creators, everyday creators, people who are just the everyday, don't have any connection to anybody famous or well-connected in life, and their life can change. And I'm going to say, for me, I literally have changed my life by posting that one video and continuing to post. I went from struggling financially to literally building wealth for myself. I have had the opportunity to partner with different brands, advising them, consulting. I have worked with awesome creators. I've gone to movie premieres. I've gone to really great events. I have traveled. I have gone on solo adventures. I have just been living my life. And this career, this business that I'm building has definitely afforded me this. And this is why I literally am like, I can't just keep sharing just the cleaning content, because I can share the cleaning content, but if I can encourage you to do some of the things, I'm not saying, hey, go into content creation, but I'm like figuring out what it is that you want to do, what you want in your life, and how to like unlock that joy, that adventure that oftentimes people in their middle age, because I want to say that this channel is really dedicated to women in their middle age, understand that even though maybe your life didn't turn out the way you wanted, because I look at me and I'm like, my life didn't turn out the way I wanted or the way I thought it was going to go. But here I am literally living out my dreams. So here's the biggest lessons that I have learned so far since breaking my ankle and realizing that God told me to relax myself. He literally put my life on pause and it redirected me to the space that I am right now. So I would tell you to embrace the pivot. Sometimes things are not working out for you. And sometimes you need to take a pause and just kind of feel through that uncomfortableness and maybe embrace that what you want or the direction you're going in may not be the direction for you. Oftentimes you might really need to figure out, who am I? What do I really want? And you have to think about, what can I do in life differently? I'm telling you, you just do not know how life can change. And I'm going to say for the better, right? For the better. I feel like this is something every single time I post a piece of content, I have to think about, and it is betting on yourself. I have to bet on myself. I am my biggest cheerleader, my biggest supporter. I have to be delusional about all the things that I believe I need to go after to make it happen. And that is one of the best lessons that I have learned in this industry. And I think it applies to life in general. The importance of believing that whatever you want, you can get it. Even if it seems like so unrealistic, believing in yourself, in whatever it is, even if you make a mistake, even if you fail, even if everyone is not in your corner, if no one's in your corner, it's believing that whatever it is that you are looking to do in life, that you will be able to enjoy it and the road might be bumpy and you may never get to that ultimate place, but that journey towards it is going to be very, very rewarding. And that's why you need to bet on yourself like nobody's business. Because as you can see in life, people are going to say no a lot. But then people are going to start to say yes one day, and you have to believe that. Start messy and just take the first step. Perfect example. I'm not joking. Here I am making this video. I don't even have furniture in my house. I have a bed, but I renovated my condo last year and I stopped at decoration. And I'm like, where am I going to shoot this video? I have a bunch of boxes around my house. It's like, girl, it's time for you to do what you have been running away from. So while this video might not be perfect, it's my first long form video as Lori Williamson. Just go ahead and do it. So launch that business, launch a Facebook group, go on dates, whatever it is, start small, start in the mess, and believe that as you do it more and more consistently, that things will work out for you. Small little steps, honestly, it builds consistency, which builds momentum. And that is so important when we are trying to do things that we're not accustomed to doing. And if you're fearful, you need to turn that fear into motivation. I'm a little nervous doing this. I'm not going to lie. I'm like, am I talking like the way that I talk when I'm talking with my friends? I'm like, I'm thinking like a million different things as I'm making this video, and I'm a little nervous that like, oh my gosh, let's say no one likes it. But that fear needs to propel me to continue doing this and the other projects that I plan on tackling this year and beyond. Embrace it. And I also, as I said, I'm betting on myself, and as delusional as I need to be, that the best possible outcome is going to happen for me. That's the mindset that I'm in. So why did I decide to make this channel? This channel really is dedicated to women who are 35 years and over, in your 40s, in your 50s, because I can say proof positive that my life did not turn out the way I had expected. Not married at this point, don't have any kids, and it's not what I expected. But here I am, and I am on a path of discovering, going on great adventures, having an amazing time, having fun. I am having fun. I used to be that girl that would say, no, don't worry, I can do it next time. No. I'm not that girl anymore. I'm going. I'm doing the things. I am making plans for myself. I have goals. I measure my goals. And all I know is I'm going after the good life that I used to say no to, or maybe I didn't have access to, but now I do. So I'm not wasting it away. And I really wanted to make sure that I am creating this page dedicated to women who feel like it's not too late to refresh, to change things up, and that you can discover yourself, you can figure things out, you can get your life together, because that's what I feel like I'm still doing. But you can also have fun, you can have adventure, and you can have wealth, and you can have glowing skin and beautiful hair and all of the things. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you feel like my story resonated with you, if you feel like you're going to be interested in topics, I would love for you to join the fam and subscribe to this channel. I would love for you to like and share it with other people that you feel like this message could be for them. I'm very excited about this. I'm like, this is definitely a new journey, and this is me taking my first step. This is me betting on myself. This is me doing it even if it looks messy and it doesn't look perfect. This is me saying I am ready for this part of my journey. And yeah, thanks so much for watching.